everybody, welcome back to Cold to Haven Family Farm. We are into November here, and it's definitely getting chillier. Ground's starting to freeze up a little bit, and I'm behind on farm chores. So what we're going to work on today, I don't know if you can see kind of behind me here, maybe you see some pumpkins left over in this field here. This is our one pumpkin patch. We got a couple acres here, and I like to go through at the end of the year, whatever plants are left, weeds, the pumpkins, whatever is here, we're going to bush hog it, break it all down, break it up so it can kind of compost, decompose over the winter time. So we're going to be doing that, and while we do that, I'm going to try and get you guys some cool footage of, you know, the project in general, but also I'm going to, during the video, talk a little bit about how bad our pumpkin season was this year, because it was not great, and give a little detail information on that for anybody who's interested. But if you like equipment videos, we got the tractor running. If you are interested in pumpkin stuff, I'll be talking. So got a lot of stuff going on here in this video. Behind me, I'm tripping, trying to be ever so eloquent here in my video, and now I'm tripping over pumpkins. We've got one of my 5140s. Obviously this is the one with the cab. We got our Bush Hog on the back. It's actually a Bush Hog brand, so I can call it a Bush Hog, not a brush cutter. And we're going to be doing this field here. Like I said, there's a lot of pumpkins left here. It goes up the hill and that way and down and around. So we'll make some circles here today, share some information with you, and get this old girl doing some work again. Let's talk a few minutes kind of how pumpkin season went. So overall, in general, just the growth of the pumpkins was not as good this year. They did not turn orange as fast as they normally do, and I think there was a few things that caused that to happen. One of them being just way too much rain as usual, not enough sunlight. But the other thing that we had this year that was a little bit different was we had a lot of days with the wildfire smoke from Canada over us. It was overcast some days, it was smelly out, and I want to say over the course of the summer with wildfire things, we had probably at least 10 days worth of some sort of smoke. So I can't say for certain that's one of the things that contributed, but on a lot of the days that we had that smoke, there wasn't sunlight, or there wasn't good sunlight. So I kind of think that was part of it. So we planted our pumpkins normal time, you know, at least the field that we're in here, and we were picking pumpkins to put out to sell that still had 25-35% green left on them. You know, they weren't completely 100% orange. And some of them did turn, you know, after we picked them and they sat out a bit. They did turn, but the majority of them had some sort of green on them when we picked them out of the field. And I think there's still some out here now of the ones that we didn't pick that still have green on them. You know, they never did a full orange. So that was against us. We did have our usual pest issues. We were able to get most of that under control. Again, with it raining so much, sometimes it's really hard to spray. We really need one of those big mist sprayers that just blows like a big cloud of stuff, but they're kind of expensive, so we've been trying to make do without one. So it takes a while to spray all these pumpkins, but we did get the pests mostly under control this year. Wasn't a huge issue for us, but we still had a mildew problem, downy and powdery mildew. We fight that every year. We've learned quite a bit now about it, and again, one of those big mist sprayers that just blast a big cloud of stuff across the field would really be the best thing. When you are working on mildew and things like that, like we normally, and I think I did a video on it, we made some modifications to one of our sprayers, and I had a big wand and I was out spraying them. You have to try to get not just the top of the leaf, but you also have to, you've got to get underneath the leaf, you've got to get the vine, you've got to get all around the plant to work on killing the mildew. It's not just let's spray the top leaves and we're done with it, you know. It's very involved. We did try a new spray this year. I don't remember what the name of it was. It was in that video, and that worked pretty well, and I can't fault the spray any. Really, the correct way to go about spraying pumpkins for mildew is at the first sign, I mean just barely any sign of any kind of mildew, you need a spray. And you're gonna have to spray more than once. It's not something like a pest where, you know, one round around the field, one application will take care of 80 or 90%. The mildew isn't like that. It needs to be done, you know, 3 times. And doing that the way we did it by hand, it's time consuming, and it gets very difficult to be able to reach all of the pumpkins. You know, we don't really leave roadways between our pumpkins because we're trying to get as many per acre as we can. So really, to do it right, what we need to do is purchase a mist sprayer, see if we can maybe find a used one, and multiple applications of different products for the mildew. So we had that, which we have every year. We had the pumpkins not turning orange, but we also had you know, our pumpkin season, our patch, and our activities that we open for the pumpkin season. We're only open on weekends and Columbus Day. The retail stuff, we do sell pumpkins during the week, but we don't do hay rides and all that stuff, only on the weekend. There's not enough interest during the week. So out of the weekends that we were open, we should have had 11 days, you know, because we had Columbus Day. So I think it was 11 days we were supposed to have been open this year, 4 weekends. Of those 11, we were rained out 6 of them. We were only open 5 days for the activities, wagon ride, all that stuff. So that's pretty bad. That's the worst it's ever been. Every year we're closed, you know, 1 day, 2 days, maybe an afternoon because of the rain. But we just had so many rainy days. We just can't, you can't be open. You can't do the activities, and people don't come. People don't want to come in pouring rain and walk around. You know, it just doesn't happen. So the admissions to all our activities was way down. Pumpkin sales, even during the week, were way down. I don't know if some of that was the rain this year, if people just weren't really in the Halloween spirit or what. But overall, it was a pretty lousy pumpkin season, just with trying to grow everything. And of course, our building, regular viewers would have seen our building finally got put up. It was after pumpkin season, and of course, it has 8 million issues, but that's for another video. But we had hoped that we would have that new building for pumpkin season, so we ended up having to buy a cheap tent and work out of that. So overall, it was not a good season. We didn't make much money at all, and we had difficulties throughout. It was probably, I think this was, we started in 13, so 23 is 10 years. This is absolutely the worst year that we've had with the pumpkin business. So yeah, and then of course we had our corn maze, We planted a different kind of corn. That was on me. I thought I'd do something that was more ornamental so it would be fun walking through. And that ornamental variety is not a big, tall, strong stock variety like the silage corn and the grain corns is. So we had a bad storm go through during the summer, and it knocked a bunch of the corn over, so we had to replant it. We made the decision to try and replant. That didn't work so well. I think I did a video on it. The corn came up. It ended up being, I don't know, 2.5 feet tall. It was pretty bad. The weather just got cold, and it didn't have the heat it needed to grow. So our corn maze, we still cut out little pathways and did some different things. It was still open, but it was a subpar corn maze, our worst one. Just everything about this year for pumpkins was bad. So we are looking forward to moving on to next year. And obviously there's things we're going to do differently, and there's things we're going to do to help in case we have other weather events, to help keep the fall pumpkin money rolling in. So I think that's about the only update, or all the updates I wanted to let you guys know about how bad the season was. I hope you enjoyed riding along with me here. Alright guys, last pass we got here. Then this field will be done. Making all kinds of ground pumpkin juice out there. Alright, and just like that, this field is done. I have another one to do. I'm not going to bother filming that because it's the same thing. You guys kind of get the idea here. We're getting these guys, getting the pumpkins all chopped up so they decompose nicely. You can see a whole bunch all over the place. Try not to blind you. I'll blind myself instead. But yeah, so we got this done. And this field will you know, die off, decompose, and be ready to work with next year. I think we're going to put pumpkins in this field again next year. We're basically going to, wherever the row was, you know, the aisleway between them, that's where the new row is going to go. We're not going to put them in the exact same spot because, you know, when we fertilize, we broadcast, so the whole field got fertilized, even though we didn't take advantage of any of the fertilizer that's in the middle of the rows. So we won't have to add a whole lot of fertilizer next year. We'll just move things over where none of the fertilizer was used up. But yeah, so that's that. Hope you enjoyed the video, seeing a little footage of the tractor, getting an update on how pumpkin season went here for us. If anybody has any questions, comments, leave them down below. I appreciate it. And I just stepped in a big gooey mess here. So anyway, I'm gonna keep going. I won't film anything else today unless I get stuck or something, but yeah, thank you so much guys. I appreciate you watching. If you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe, the thumbs up, and that bell icon on your way out the door, I would greatly appreciate it. I appreciate all the new subscribers that have jumped on board here in the last week or 10 days or so. I really appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate all my regular subscribers that continue to support the channel video after video. That means a lot to me. I've been doing this a long time, and I appreciate all the support, the community that's been built. So thank you guys so much. Yeah, just thanks for watching. Hope to see you all in the next video.